I really, really admire any individual who decided to take on the responsibility of a postgraduate education. Why this is a little challenging, but you still find out that people against all odds make proper decision to register for a postgraduate study. Although some do not have an idea of what they really want to do, some other people just do it like a norm because of this traditional belief that the moment you complete your first degree, the next thing is you should start a postgraduate program. Why I can relate with that. But again, that is not the way it should be. You need an adequate time for reflection to be sure of what you want to do in terms of postgraduate education or program. So what I've been trying to do in the series of my conversation, especially with postgraduate students, is to guide them in choosing the right course and also dealing with challenges around common mistakes and errors that might be difficult to avoid. So one of the things you wouldn't want to do is to commit errors that cannot be resolved in the course of your postgraduate program. That might affect your career. That might even frustrate you. So I've been able to highlight so many mistakes that people make before they start the postgraduate program and also when they are enrolled in the postgraduate program. So today, I'm going to lay hold on a few other mistakes that I know might resonate with people that are presently in their postgraduate journey, maybe PhD student or master student. Why it's important for you to know so much, but don't make the mistake of thinking that you know everything. That's a big challenge. I've had conversation with postgraduate students and you can feel this kind of vibe from them that they know everything. You are not meant to know everything. You are meant to know the right thing that is enough for your program, that can add value to you and also help you to contribute significantly to the progress of your society. Now, when you complete your program, you know what to do, you have learned the facts, you understand how the processes work, you could apply fundamentals, and that can really help you to change the course of things. So the advice I'm going to give to you, especially if you are bothered by that mentality of saying you must know everything or you know everything, is that postgraduate study is not about knowing everything, but it is about learning how to learn. It is about learning how to learn. So one challenge is that I've personally noticed is that people learn, but they don't know how to learn. When you learn how to learn, you can leverage that learning to other aspects of your life. You can use it to help people and not only yourself. You can use it to grow an enterprise, to develop a business, to develop your community, to even change things that might be difficult for others to deal with. So you must learn how to learn. And it's a big challenge also in different postgraduate colleges and schools that we are not teaching people how to learn. The moment you learn how to learn, it's easier for you. You can do anything and everything. You know so much about what you are doing. You also know so much about so many other things. And that in a way will make you versatile and it's going to give you this kind of helicopter advantage that you can look at things from different dimension and different direction. Then don't make the mistake of too big too fast. Sometimes postgraduate students, master students, or PhD students think they have arrived because they are doing PhD. They think they are on the top of the world. They think no one can talk to them again. No one can advise them. No one can guide them. They don't take to people's suggestions or adopt suggestions or open up their mind to things that can make them better. So let me put a note of caution here that you are a postgraduate student, irrespective of your level, shouldn't make you to be too big too fast. There are more lands for you to cover. Postgraduate program is just an add-on to what you have before. And for some people, it's a stepping stone to where you are going. So if you are not very careful, it will be difficult for you to relate to people very well. And also, you will not be able to learn the necessary and relevant things you need to grow your career. And also that you can use as tools to mentor people in the days to come. I've met people that had PhDs but could not train students. Apart from the fact that they have not learned how to learn, they are also too big, too fast in the course of their postgraduate program. And that, in a way, affected them in terms of access and opportunity to things that they would have known. So the moment people know that you are arrogant, for example, or you are not really ready to listen to anybody, you are a man in your own world, and you feel that you are always right because you know it all, then it will be a problem for people to help you, to guide you, and for you to grow. So the advice I'm going to give to you here is that postgraduate study is not the zenith of success. It's not the zenith of success. There are so many things you are meant to do that you will still do. There are people that have two master's program. Two master's degree. There are people that have done the second PhD. Some, they've moved from PhD to do other things that could add to them. So don't see your program, master's program or PhD program as, yes, now I'm there. You can't be there because life is dynamic and you have to keep growing. The day you stop learning, that is the day you start dying. And that really affects your consciousness to do well in the course of your career. Then another challenge with postgraduate students, or the mistake they make, is that when they are choosing a research idea, they don't guide it. Because one of the easiest things you can do is to propose an idea. It's so easy to propose an idea. And it looks so beautiful that it can change the world at the point of nurturing or the point of initiating the idea. So sometimes when I coach and mentor postgraduate students, so one of the things I tell them is that be careful of making a proposal that you will not be able to execute. So people say things that they cannot do. People put ideas together that look so big, even beyond the relevant expertise available to them, beyond the facility they have, beyond what their capacity can cope with and contain. So when you are proposing your work, you should have it at the back of your mind that it will not go the way you plan it. And I'm not saying you should be hopeless here, or you shouldn't be optimistic. What I'm saying is that you should be careful of blind optimism. You are not seeing it at all, even when they are trying to guide you, that the way you are looking at your work is in one direction. You might have to look at it from multiple dimensions, but you don't want to see it because you have not left that margin to think about reality. So one of the most difficult things for people to do, especially postgraduate students, is to accept reality. Reality is difficult to achieve. And part of the reality is that you might not even get funding for that idea you are proposing. That idea might not work. In executing the proposal, you might have challenges that might even make you to abandon the program. You might not get relevant expertise or tools that you need to facilitate the idea. You might not even get someone that will be ready to supervise you. Because sometimes people feel that it is your program, it is your life, it is your PhD. Then face it and fight it. So you have to be very careful here and prepare your mind to accept reality. Because research, most of the times, will not go the way you plan it. Even when you have expected outcome, that will not be your outcome. You are only expecting it. It doesn't mean it will be your outcome. So you need to have that understanding and get it settled within yourself that reality is obvious. And the reality that the kind of proposal you are making looks so big and you don't even have enough time that can help you to really answer your research questions. So you have to be very careful when you are making your proposal. It is easier to propose because talk is cheap. It is now action that is a little difficult. So learn to prepare and plan for reality and attempt your work in such a way that if it doesn't work, you can still move on with your program. Another mistake is competition. Maybe when you are applying for this postgraduate program, it was competitive and you were competitive. That was why you were able to make the list. So they shortlisted you for interview because you had a beautiful research experience, you've published some papers, and your CV was heavy. But again, you need to understand that the moment you start the program now, or you start the program, I beg your pardon, is you don't have to go by being competitive again. You have to lessen the guard of competition. Because you are your competitor or you are your competition. You don't compete with anyone in graduate school because it's not positional. And what you are here to do is different from what others are here to do. You might even be working with the same supervisor and you are doing the same program, but your research will never be the same because the uniqueness and the novelty of the research should clarify your value. So you have no reason to compete with anybody. But I've seen postgraduate students who are so competitive. I'm not saying you can't take clues from people or motivations from your mates in the process of getting better. Maybe you see that someone have what it takes to publish papers. He has that registered innovation in terms of writing great manuscripts. You can learn from them. If they publish a paper, it could be a healthy motivation for you to also see how you can put part of your data together and publish it. But you don't have to be competitive all the times. And you want to keep fighting all through. Because the moment you start competing with everybody around you, you see everyone as a suspect. Everyone becomes a problem. Everyone becomes someone that wants to take your place. And unnecessarily you become envious. And that in a way can make you bitter and affect your postgraduate journey and experience. So one of the things you have to tell yourself is that you want to have a very beautiful postgraduate experience. But competition might not really lead the way. There will be times maybe when you are to present at a conference. I'm not saying you are going there competitively, but you are just enjoying your journey and you are happy with yourself. So many things start fall into place because you know what you are about and what you are doing. So instead of competition, the new definition for competition is collaboration. You must learn to collaborate with people. There is no self-made researcher or an individual. No matter how brilliant of a genius Albert Einstein was, he had people that mentored him, that grew him up in the process. So no matter how brilliant that professor is, someone tutored him at the grand stage. No matter how good you might think you want to be, you need people. The essence of research is collaboration, ability to relate with people, to talk to people, to understand people at that professional level. Here, I'm saying that you don't have to be friends with people to collaborate with them. It is not necessary. The only thing is just learn to work with people. There are people that you don't have the same value, you don't think alike, you have different mindsets. But again, you are within let me say the same program for a lack of a better word. And you are on the same committee, for example. You are there to co-supervise students. You just have to work with them and move on. So you don't always have to agree. But what you have to learn to do is to work with people. And that is what collaboration is. So you need to have a collaborative mindset and mind and consciousness the moment you want to start a postgraduate program. And collaboration can be up. You can collaborate up. You can collaborate down. You can collaborate left or right. You can collaborate at level above you, at level below you, and below you rather, and at the same level. So just learn to manage collaborations. And it's again important for you to know that in the process of collaborating, you must learn to manage your expectation. You don't expect too much from a collaborator. Because no matter how much people want to collaborate, work with you, even no matter how much they love you, people have these traces of selfishness. You think about yourself first most of the times. That is the principle they teach others. Why that is not the best. And I don't go by that principle, but people do it. And that in a way should make you learn how to manage your expectations. Another mistake you wouldn't want to make as a postgraduate applicant or a postgraduate student in the process of your journey is to trivialize relationship. Don't take relationship for granted. Don't take people for granted. Research is about relating with others, relating to a concept, to a system, and learning how to engage people in the process of developing your hypothesis and research questions, and see how their expertise could be adapted or adopted to the course of your work, and you achieve an excellent result. Don't trivialize relationship. Relate with your course mates very well. Relate with your level mates well. Relate with your lab mates very well. Learn to relate with superiors. Sometimes it can be very difficult, but it's about learning, and you have to make conscious effort in the process of relating with people. Sometimes this might have a lot to do with your temperament. Some are quick-tempered, some are short-tempered. Some can accommodate people, others do not preach tolerance. So it's a problem, it's a challenge, but it is part of your duty or responsibility to learn to relate with people, irrespective of their tribe and their race, because it's not about where they are coming from. It's about what you have in common and what you intend to do, not by regularizing opinions, but by projecting things beyond what we call excuses and what we may stand for. The advice I'm going to give to you here is learn to value people. When you value people, they will value you. And when you value yourself, you attract valuable people into your life. Try as much as possible to think beyond yourself when you are collaborating with people or you are relating with people. Love people genuinely. You lose nothing by doing this. And also it costs nothing. Just only commitment and with no expectations. With no expectation. I say that again because repetition strengthens memory with no expectation. Another challenge or mistake you can make is not asking for help. I've met postgraduate students who are going through a lot, but what they are going through is someone's past or someone's history. And the person have the necessary wisdom that can guide their journey, but they won't ask. Maybe they are shy, or they feel too big, or sometimes they think that I don't think for me, I don't want to relate with that kind of person. You have to put aside ego if you have to do well in any course in life. Learn to ask for help. The worst you can get is a no. And a no doesn't mean you can't have it. It means next opportunity. 1 million people can say no to you, but there's someone with a yes response to you. You just have to locate that person. So many doors can be closed on your face or closed against you. You just have to keep knocking. You don't get tired of knocking. You keep pressing, you keep knocking, you keep working. You don't know who can help you until you ask for the help. You don't know. So sometimes people are really waiting for you to ask because they don't want to be too forward and they don't want to look like they are trying to step into beyond their boundary or step into your zone without invitation. So when you ask for help, people are willing to help you. Because in graduate school and in life, you can't win alone. So don't fight alone. You can never win alone. And you need to understand that. The moment you know that you can never win alone, things become easier for you. Because why do you have to fight alone when you have people around you? People that are willing to help. They are willing to encourage you. They are willing to motivate you. They are willing to push with you. But what are you doing? You are trying to fight it alone. You can't fight alone. It is important for you to understand that. And because you can't fight alone, ask for help. Leverage on people's experiences, their expertise, what they have done wrong, what they did right in the course of their program, and how you could package that, dovetail it to a point that it can help you to also have a beautiful postgraduate experience. One other mistake that people make is that they think postgraduate program success is about competence. No, it's not about competence. Don't make that mistake. I've met competent postgraduate students who cannot go far or who did not go far. And they are competent, but they don't know how to talk to people. Some slouch, some are so arrogant, some are so rude, some they are too full of themselves, some they trivialize issues. As in, they even look down on people and they take them for granted because it's about the fact that they are competent. Competence does not take you to the Hall of Fame. It is character. So the moment you are building competence, ensure that you back it up with character. Solid character. Solid character. Competence can take you to the top, but it takes character to keep you at the top. Competence can make you a professor, but it takes character to keep you at that level of being a professorial wisdom that people want to reach out to. There are some irrelevant people heavy now and then here. They are big. They think they have achieved, but they are competent, but there is no character. So people actually appreciate those that have character than those that have competence without character. So ensure that you build character in the process of your postgraduate program. And one last thing that I think you should think about is that don't be too rigid. Be flexible. Keep your eyes and focus on the bigger picture beyond the degree that you are running after. Don't be too rigid. Diversify your approach. Be flexible. Be simple. Don't be too difficult to talk with, even to give just suggestions to. When they are trying to guide you about a step you are taking or you are about to take, maybe your superior, sometimes even your colleague, sit down and look at what they are saying holistically. Don't trash people's opinion without sitting down and ask yourself, why are they saying what they are saying? So be open to suggestion. So leave margin for suggestions. For example, I run a research group. I have PhD students and master students. I don't make the final decision. We sit down to talk, to dialogue, to decide what even sometimes the title of the proposal should be. Who should do what? That's it's called leadership and a growing because you are open to suggestion. As a postgraduate student, learn to be open to suggestion. But because you can't do it all alone. Please think so much about your mental health. And any mistake you make can really affect your mental health. And that is why you have to be very careful in the course of your postgraduate program. Mistakes can be corrected. Errors can be avoided.